You and your friend Mike start at the exact same point. Same age, same job, same income, same city, same opportunities. You both decide it's time to get serious about money. You both commit $1,000 a month, every month. No skipping, no excuses. But then, you make one decision differently. You choose dividend stocks. You build a portfolio that pays you. You research companies. You look for yield. You pick names you recognize. Then you add higher yield assets, REITs, dividend ETFs. You want income. You want cash flow. You want something that proves it's working. Mike does something that almost feels lazy. He buys an S&P 500 index fund. That's it. No research, no strategy, no stock picking. Just one fund, every month, same amount. And then he closes the app. If you saw both strategies side by side, at the beginning, there's no competition. You look like the one who understands money. You have income. You have activity. You have a system that looks intentional. Mike looks passive, disconnected, almost careless. At a dinner, you can explain your strategy. You can show your dividends. You can point to results. Mike says, I just buy the market. And the conversation moves on, because it doesn't sound impressive. But here's where everything starts to break. Because what feels impressive is not always what works. Year 1. Your portfolio pays you a few $100s. It's small, but it's real. Year 2. It grows. Year 3. Now it's noticeable. Year 5. You're making a few thousand a year. And every time money hits your account, it reinforces your belief. This is working. Meanwhile, Mike has nothing to show. No payments, no alerts, no cash flow, just a number. Going up, down, up again. Nothing emotional, nothing exciting. And this is where most people lock in their identity. Because investing isn't just math, it's psychological. You don't choose what works. You choose what feels like it works. And dividends feel like proof. But here's what you don't see. Every dividend you receive isn't new money. It's your own money. When a company pays you, the value of that company drops by the same amount. You didn't gain. You just moved value from the company into your account. And then something else happens. Taxes. Every single year. You pay. Even if you reinvest. Even if you never touch it. Even if you're trying to build wealth long-term. The system still takes a piece. And that piece keeps compounding. Against you. Mike doesn't have that problem. His money stays invested, untouched. No forced distributions. No constant tax friction. Just pure compounding. At first, it doesn't matter. Because both of you are growing. Your account is going up. His account is going up. Everything looks fine. But small differences don't stay small. They compound. Quietly. By year 10, something subtle happens. Mike starts pulling ahead. Not dramatically. Just enough. To go unnoticed. You're still receiving dividends. They're bigger now. More frequent. It still feels like you're winning. But the gap is forming. Under the surface. By year 15, the gap is real. Tens of thousands of dollars. But you don't feel it. Because your experience hasn't changed. You still get paid. You still see growth. Everything still feels right. And that's the trap. Because losing slowly doesn't feel like losing. It feels like winning. Slightly less than you should. By year 20, the difference is undeniable. Your portfolio is strong, but Mike's stronger. And now the gap is over 6 figures. Not because he worked harder, not because he made better decisions, but because he avoided small mistakes, repeated for decades. Taxes, lower growth, Higher fees, yield traps, small leaks, running silently. For years. And now, 30 years later, you both retire. You check your account. About $1.4 million. You feel good. You should. Mike checks his. Closer to 1.8 million. Same effort, same timeline, same discipline, but a difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And here's the part nobody tells you. It didn't happen all at once. It happened slowly, quietly, without ever triggering an alarm. Now you start living off your portfolio. You receive dividends. Income flows automatically. You don't sell anything. It feels safe. But you're taxed every single year. Mike sells shares, which sounds worse. But he controls everything. When to sell, how much to sell, how much tax to trigger. And in many cases, he pays almost nothing. Same lifestyle, different system, different outcome. And that's when it hits you. This was never about income. It was about total return. Dividends didn't make you richer. They made you feel richer. And that feeling came with a price. Now here's the truth. Dividends aren't wrong. They have their place in tax-advantaged accounts, in retirement strategies, for behavioral discipline. But for most people, trying to build wealth over decades, the math is clear. The simple strategy wins. Not because it's exciting, but because it avoids the invisible losses that compound into massive gaps. So the real question isn't, which strategy sounds better? It's, which one actually works, even when you don't feel it? Because in the end, you don't lose money dramatically. You lose it quietly, without realizing, until you finally compare. And by then, the result is already decided. Welcome to the financial maze.